Oh, what's going on, guys? Gamer Dude back once again, bringing you some more informative gaming news. But before we begin, you all know the routine, or at least I hope you do by now. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. Now then, as you can tell from the title, we are talking about Spider-Man again, because, well, who isn't? After the magnificent launch of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and the insane Spider-Verse movies from Sony, rumours have started circulating around the internet that Insomniac may indeed be working on a Spider-Verse inspired video game. And considering the side quest that you're now seeing on screen from Marvel's Spider-Man 2, it kind of wouldn't really surprise me if they were. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what this means, everything I've discovered regarding this, and please do take it all with a grain of salt. Nothing has been confirmed. This is all just spitballing, theory, and rumours at the moment. So let's get right into it. Now, there are dozens of fans who seem to think that Insomniac are indeed working on a Spider-Verse inspired video game, and it's easy to think that they will, because intense but unconfirmed speculation suggests that they are actually working on a Spider-Verse game influenced by Sony's recent batch of animated movies. Unverified information being shared online, purportedly part of the recent high-profile data breach. Unfortunately, Insomniac has been the latest victim to this. Many files regarding Wolverine and Wolverine's Insomniac's employees were leaked, unfortunately. But this alleges that the title is in development, although I haven't actually been able to corroborate anything, and the information is extremely loose. But if they were to be doing this, then it could be another half game. So everybody's thinking that because Insomniac did the 3 DLCs for the first game, naturally the second game will get DLC, which, you know, wouldn't surprise me if it did. And then Miles Morales seemingly came out of nowhere. So everybody seems to think that Insomniac are going to follow the same formula with Spider-Man 2. We'll get 3 DLCs and then a half game. Now, if this Spider-Verse DLC, if this Spider-Verse is a half game, then I believe it will center around Cindy Moon and obviously Miles. With Peter now taking a big back seat to Spider-Maning, it would stand to reason, since Cindy Moon was introduced in the post-credit scene, and if you're not familiar with Cindy Moon, she is the spider hero known as Silk, then it would stand to reason that it would center around her joining like this Spider-Verse team, and Miles is all like, oh yeah, we found all these weird spider bots around the city last year or something like that. And then, you know, Miguel O'Hara or Gwen Stacy or something, or Peter B. Parker comes in to recruit Silk. And Miles is just like, oh, hey guys. And then that would lead into the whole how Insomniac's Peter Parker is in that film, because then Miles makes Peter aware of it, and Peter's like, well, yeah, you know, now I'm taking a bit of a backseat. I can help these guys out, do what they need to do, sort of deal, you know. And you know, obviously Miles is like, oh yeah, I got this. Don't worry, you take care of that. I'll train Cindy and everything like that. And it'll turn out that Cindy is, I don't know, like opposed to it or wants to do it, and you know, Miles is just like, well, hang on a minute, you've had your powers for all of 5 minutes, let me teach you the ropes first. Most of the game will probably center around that, and then we'll have all this Spider-Verse nonsense. I don't know, I'm just spitballing there, but let's continue. We know that obviously Spider-Man from Insomniac's games have appeared in the movies, and therefore it is connecting to the overarching Spider-Verse universe. Without getting too deep into spoilers, if you haven't seen it already, there are references to the likes of Spider-Man 2099 in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 with the Spider-Verse quest, and Miguel gets referenced in the ending cutscene. None of this, of course, confirms anything. And this does largely feel like I'm just theorizing and spitballing right now, that I'm talking out of my own ass, which is what a lot of you watching are probably thinking right now. But we do know Insomniac is working on a multiplayer game. And one common theory that we've seen shared online is that this could be some kind of Spider-Verse inspired title, whether it be connected to Marvel Spider-Man 1 and 2, if it's a half game. We don't know yet. It could just be its own separate entity, and it's just like, oh yeah, here you go, here's a live service multiplayer game for you to enjoy, and it's the Spider-Verse, which I wouldn't be opposed to, unless it's live service. But yeah, I know I just said live service, but if it is live service, I'm not going to be interested. But overall, it's a good idea, because that way everyone could assume a different Spider-Man in the game. And it's an interesting premise, but of course it's all speculation. And there's nothing from these so-called leaks to suggest that this is actually the case, that any of this is actually true, that any of it's actually happening. The only thing that we do know is that they are working on a multiplayer title. So there is a lot of talk taking place with corroborating evidence and substantial evidence here and there, but obviously the outstanding sales for Marvel Spider-Man 2 would stand to reason that Insomniac are going to capitalize on this as much as possible, and it would suggest that Insomniac are definitely not leaving the series behind. The next big thing we can look forward to is, of course, Marvel's Wolverine, which is still slated for release next year, hopefully. In addition to the New Game Plus, which is now coming in the new year, I suspect there'll be 3 DLCs, as I said earlier, similar to the first game. Potentially another half game, as I said, whether that be just Cindy Moon inspired and Miles training her like the Miles Morales game, or a Spider-Verse game, remains to be seen. But for all of this to be corroborated, there needs to be some more supporting evidence. I'm not saying that somebody needs to hack in like they've already done and find out. I'm just saying that unless Insomniac confirms anything, then it's not happening. And I did say at the beginning of this video, take it all with a grain of salt. I'm only spitballing here. This is all theorizing. I'm just covering what I know, what I've found out. I'm not telling you this is happening. I'm not that guy who says, oh yeah, look, listen to me, I'm always right. Nah. I just enjoy bringing you this information because I love video games, I enjoy video games, and I want to bring that to you as well. But yeah, that's just about all I could find on it. And I realize it's not much to go on. In fact, it's not a hell of a lot to go on at all. But the fact remains that if this does happen, if it does turn out to be the next half game, it would stand to reason that it's going to be about the same length as the Miles Morales game. It's going to have the same-ish kind of story where you're playing as Cindy Moon, as Silk. Miles is training her for a bit, then we might get some Spider-Verse stuff, and that could turn into this big multiplayer thing. You get the story with Cindy and Miles, and then it turns into this big multiplayer thing where multiple Spider-Men can come into New York. Like how you team up in Marvel Spider-Man 2, you're swinging around the city, you come across a crime, and the other Spider-Man's there. It'll be similar to that, but instead of it being AI, it'll be another player as another Spider-Man. So you could have Peter B. Parker, you could have the Noir Peter, you could have Raimi Peter, you could have Insomniac Peter, and so on and so on and so on. So it can go anywhere, it's anybody's game, but for now, it's all theory, speculation, and rumor. So do let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think this would be a good idea? Do you think it's all BS and it's never going to happen and we're just going to get a game featured around Cindy Moon and Miles' training her, very similar to the Miles Morales game? Or do you think there's actually potential around this? I'll be interested to hear what you guys think. So yeah, that's about it for the video then. Thank you all for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Once again, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. Stay tuned, of course, for future content from yours truly. We'll have some more informative gaming news videos. Christmas is coming up, so I'm getting some new games. We're going to continue Hogwarts Legacy live stream. We're going to live stream God of War New Game Plus because that Valhalla DLC added a bunch of new stuff, so we're going to be doing that sometime in the new year as well. So yeah, there's a lot to come from me. There's a lot of content to keep myself and you guys occupied, so I hope you enjoy. So until then, this is going to be the last video until after Christmas, so hope you all have a fantastic Christmas and a wonderful new year. Once again, thank you all for your love and support. Really do appreciate it. You guys are just the best community I could ever ask for. I never imagined I would get this far in YouTubing. I never imagined I would get this far as a content producer. So thank you all so much. It's down to you guys that I continue doing this. I do it all for you. I hope you enjoy it. So until the next one, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.